Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Abrams, U.S. Global Command 9.4. Okay, let's just go right to Tech, Advanced SLBM, SDI that gets 2 dice, and Advanced ASF. Okay, Advanced SLBM, yes. SDI, yes. So Advanced SLBMs are completed. SDI goes to stage 2. So we take the SLBM from the dashboard and replace it with a red Advanced SLBM. Okay, next step, military aid and purchase. Okay, the United States is spending 18 to send NATO an artillery, an A-10, and a destroyer. Then for themselves, they're spending 8 on a Top Gun ASF. They're spending 8 on a pair of MBTs, spending 8 on a fighter, and the remaining 15 on 3 more MBTs and a SAM. Okay, combat. We are going to have the B-52 from Diego Garcia flies 1, 2, 3. It fires 2 cruise missiles into eastern Iran in a surgical strike. The airborne here in Macaw. 1, 2, no, we can't do that. We can't fly over Ethiopia, can we? Drat, double drat. No, we can't go over Ethiopia. Ain't that a bitch? We just telegraphed. Okay, that's fine. I didn't see that before. We'll take that off there. Instead, what we're going to do is the American forces in Israel are counterattacking into Suez. So as you see, Suez there has 2 MBTs and a light infantry defending. Down here we've got 5 mechs, 3 artillery, a field artillery, a fighter, and a spag. And the fighter from Macaw is going to join the fight. And the airborne will go in there in airborne assault. We're released for battlefield nukes against the Soviets, but they are not released against us. Do we want to give them that capability? No, we don't at this time. So the artillery that are attacking Suez will just fire normal. They won't shoot battlefield nukes. So we're not ready to give them that against us yet. And then up here, we're going to engage in some shenanigans. Yes, we can see all of it. Okay. From southern England, the B-52 and the attack bomber are going 1, 2, 3, 4. GW85. The B-52 is going to stop here over Austria and shoot a pair of cruise missiles into East Czechoslovakia in a surgical strike. The attack bomber will continue into East Czechoslovakia. No, wait, will he? No, he won't, because on my map, I forgot about that. I don't know if you can see it exactly. Let me try to zoom in. You see there on my map, right there. That sure looks to me like that is wide enough to be a connection for Western Poland to East Czechoslovakia. That's, as I said, it's hard to see on camera because of the glare. But on my map, like I said, that looks like that little point is wide enough to actually be a connection, which would let 3 fighters from Western Poland scramble in there. So we're going to change our mind. Now we'll go back to normal zoom. Instead of the attack bomber going in there, the attack bomber will go into Hungary and do a surgical strike with spy satellite, so he's at full value on the MBTs there. And it has to be conventional because we're not released for battlefield nukes against Warsaw Pact, only the Soviets. And then our other combat up here is these 2 MBTs and this SAM are going to make an unopposed attack into Austria to take that away from Warsaw Pact. So that is US up 2 to 55, Warsaw Pact down 2 back to 26. And I'll get a roundel and put on Austria. Okay, there we go. All right, so zooming into that, now I got to get my zoom fixed back the way I had it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is the surgical strikes in Eastern Europe and then Eastern Iran, and then we'll do the fight in Suez. Okay, so let's do East Czechoslovakia first. There's no SAM there, so there's no defense. So we got 2 cruise missiles. They both miss. Ah, drat. Okay, now we have the attack bomber going into Hungary. That is also a miss. Whew, very bad. Okay, now we have 2 cruise missiles going into Eastern Iran. Again, no SAM, so no defense. Okay, there is 1 hit. So, 1 of those mechs comes off. All right, now we will have the fight in Suez. I think I can manage this. So, the American SPAG goes to the retirement box. We've got 3. We've got a field artillery in first strike, and then we will have 3 artillery. So field artillery misses. 3 artillery. There is 1 first strike hit. So they will take the light infantry for the first strike hit. Now we have, since that is desert, the airborne is, of course, from 3 down to 2. So we got an airborne. Hey, he gets a hit. What do you know? So there's 1 hit. Now we have 5 mechs. And they're from 3 down to 2 because of the desert. Nothing there. 2 fighters. There is the second hit that was needed with a 6. Okay, so Soviet defenders are done in. The 2 MBTs shoot back. And they get 1 hit. So these guys come off. Suez is liberated. Get an American roundel on there. There was 1 hit in defense that the Americans will take on their field artillery. So the mechs move in here. Spag. Artillery. And the fighter is waiting for non-combat. Okay, that's Americans up to 57. Soviets down to 44. And that's it for combat. Okay, non-combat. B-52 flies back to Diego Garcia. Oh wait, that guy was over there. We'll land 1 fighter back in Israel and 1 back in Makkah. Okay, these 2 MBTs move up to northern Saudi, which is just going to make this green chip a red. Okay, there's that. Okay. This SSN in A42, 1, 2, 3, up here to A26. The Marine here in A35 in sea lift mode, 1, 2, 3. Up here to A21, and he can use the minor port there to land in southern England. The theater missile and the next-gen MBT, 1, 2, 3, to land here in western France. the two next-gen MBTs that were already in Western France. Can you see them? Yes, you can. They moved down here to Southern France. To bulk them up a little bit. Okay, now we have the fleet here in A34 with the repaired fleet carrier, which will come out of port. And the whole fleet is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to A19. So the destroyers, the frigates, and the SSN get back on the fleet card, which we're going to move up here closer to the action. There they go. We'll just put the SSN out there in the water. And then from A24, the cruiser and frigate 1, 2 to join the fleet. Okay, there's that. Now, I didn't move them on the map in non-combat, but you remember, I'm sure, what I laid out there. The attack bomber had enough movement to land back in Rhineland. That's also where the B-52 is going to land. Them things are hard to get balanced on a flight stand. The B-1 is going to non-combat from southern England to Rhineland. Pull those off. And I think that's it for non-combat. Okay, now we got to place some units. As long as we're over here, we'll just start that right here. Okay, the Top Gun ASF goes to the, I don't think it mattered. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll put it there, Great Lakes at a major, just in case, but I don't think it matters on him. 2, 3 MBTs and SAM going at the major Army base in Northeast United States. There's that. Then come over here. We have 2 MBTs and a fighter built in Israel. And the other fighter from the main map, I'll just move to there with a chip, so take him off the main map. That's units placed, so now we deliver aid. The destroyer is delivered to the major shipyard in southern France, M3, so the destroyer is going on the task force card for M3. That's what that looks like now. The artillery, since there's nothing in the way between the East Coast and the North Sea, the artillery is going to be delivered through this major shipyard into northern Germany. So we get a chip there. That's going to annoy me. And then the A-10 is delivered to the minor air base in northern Germany. Military aid delivered. Now we have to roll for aid to Pacific Command. That's a 9, which falls in the middle. That's going to cost 4. So let's get over here to have a look. 57 plus 8 is 65. Minus 4 is 61. Minus 4 more for oil tankers is 57. Okay, the Americans shot 4 cruise missiles. They built 4 cruise missiles. Anti-ship missiles, they didn't shoot any, and they just build 1 per turn. So there's that. Ozark Outpost. Well, hang on a second. We haven't done this yet. That's the end of turn 9. Let's have a look at the strategic objectives chart. So you can see how everybody is faring at the moment. Looks like Warsaw Pact Alliance is doing a little better, but NATO is doing better by this point in the game than they have in quite a while. So we'll see what happens. Ozark Outpost. Over and out.